wanted to talk about more contemporary issues like the soldier who was killed yesterday.
Let's talk about let's address the Saddam Hussein point. Many people have been asking us the same thing.
Well, that's because you have deliberately teed up this interview with a falsehood.
We do not tee up the questions.
You're a bunch of liars. Everybody knows that you are.
Mr. Gallo,
you're a bunch of liars. I am not an admirer of Saddam Hussein. I was an opponent of Saddam Hussein when you'd never heard of him. I used to be demonstrating outside the Iraqi embassy in London when British governments and businessmen were selling him guns. I have answered this question 500 times at least. I was talking to the Iraqi...
now. What were you saying that to him for if you'd answered it?
I wasn't saying it to him, and let me explain it to you again because I haven't personally explained it to you. Y-O-U-R, is a reference to the Iraqi people. If you showed the seconds, minutes before the clip you've just shown, you would know that I was talking about and to the Iraqi people. Now, do you want to spend all of our 6 minutes talking about something 11 years ago? Or do you want to talk about the 100,000 people who've been killed by Bush and Blair?
Mr. Galloway, let's come straight to a very simple question. Very simple one, this one. Colonel James Marshall Andrews asks you this. Would you rather Saddam was still in power?
No, of course not. I was against the dictatorship in Iraq when you didn't want to know about it. I was against the dictatorship in Saudi Arabia, and you still don't want to know about it. The dictatorships in the Middle East are only there because they're backed by Britain and the United States.
Let's have a try and see if we get Leela back. Leela, are you there? And can you ask your question again? Off you go.
Okay, basically, how can any voter trust you, Mr. Galloway? You're a loose cannon. You've been a lifelong member of the Labour Party, which basically chucked you out. I know you've got a 50-page manifesto, but basically it's a single-issue party. And another question basically is, even if the 16 members, your candidates, actually get through, how are you actually going to deliver your manifesto pledges, like renationalisation of railways? I think it's fantasy land you're in, Mr. Galloway.
It would again be good if the people that you've set up for this programme had their facts right. For a start, our manifesto isn't 50 pages. We're not standing 16 candidates. We're standing almost double that number of candidates. We're not standing in Scotland. So why have you got a voter on from Scotland?
I just explained.
I'll tell you why you've got a voter on from Scotland. Because you couldn't find a voter in the constituency I am standing in that would come on to the television to attack me. This is
I'm sorry, Mr. Galloway.
Everybody watching this programme, although thankfully there are not that many, every person watching this programme now knows that this is a setup. It's a waste of your viewers' time, it's a waste of your professional time, and it's a waste of my time, because I'm actually involved in an election.
Just hang on a moment. Well over 1 million people, quite a lot of people. Leela, did you want to come back? You were trying to break in.
I did indeed. I'm quite incensed with Mr. Galloway saying that this is set up. I'm a floating voter. I want to be reasonably...
Wait a minute, let her speak. Come on. Sorry, Leela, carry on.
Right. Basically, I feel this, I'm really incensed with this allegation that it's a setup. I'm a floating voter. He can't hold it against me that I'm a Scot. I want to be well informed about what is happening down south. It is a UK general election, Mr. Galloway. It is not just in Scotland.
No,
so I'd like to have your views as clearly as possible.
We're not standing in Scotland, so it's not a UK general election for us. And you knew that when you found a Scot to go on the television to attack me. A floating voter. Well, I'm attacking you.
Shall we answer some of the questions from our viewers, many of which echoed Leela's sentiment, Mr. Galloway?
We should do, because this is...
issue party and therefore not that relevant.
Well, we should do, because this is the very last time I'll be speaking to ITN. Be sure about that. So let's go on and answer some of your other questions.
We've got many of them are... well, I just don't know where to start. They're all much the same.
Well, no wonder they are, because you've set this whole thing up.
No, we haven't set it up.
There are millions of people. There are millions. No, you aren't. You've been trailing this programme of me as an admirer of Saddam Hussein, which I'm not. You've put on a voter from Scotland where we're not standing, where we don't exist, to attack me. And now you're telling me you've got a shoal of hostile questions. There are millions of people. Millions of people support our stand on the war on Iraq and our stand on railways and on many other issues. And you're going to get a surprise on Thursday when you see the result in the constituency in which I'm standing. But you won't be talking to me after it. Let me assure you of that.
Oh dear, he was adamant about that, didn't he? Now, coming up on the ITV News channel, the sport, including the latest on tonight's big match at Anfield.
Plus,